on. So pillar 6 is brand marketing and global readiness. My background is in marketing, so I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of where my brain wants to start. But is the marketing where people start, or is where does this sit? Because obviously, I think strategy has to come first, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I think definitely it does. Albeit, as I said, all of these things are intertwined, aren't they? You can't scale without having outstanding performance in each of these areas. And in this session, let's be honest, we're still scratching the surface. But I think one of the key responsibilities, again, from a franchisor perspective, is to be responsible to promote and develop the brand. That fundamentally is part of what people are buying into. And I think all of those things, including the brand values, again coming back to the essence of what does it mean to be part of whatever the brand is. And there's no doubt about it that from a franchise partner perspective, one of the most important things when they get to the point of launching the business, then they want to know that the marketing support that has been wrapped around that, first and foremost, is the marketing strategy right? Is it actually being created in a way that's going to deliver the expectations for both parties? But also, what does that marketing support look like? Because one of the biggest challenges, again, that I've seen is that from a franchisee perspective, it's very rare that you get franchisees who are experts in marketing.
We've discussed about this, where many franchisees, I think, underestimate what is actually required. But the other thought I had, though, was that, to me, marketing is like fertilizer on a field. And you need the crops to grow. You probably need some fertilizer. But the temptation is like to just lay it on, to lay it on too thick, or to lay it on in the wrong places. And it's like, well, maybe with the right strategy and the right values and the right energy about the business, like, you maybe need a bit of marketing, but there's going to be an energy about it that creates this momentum as well. You can't use marketing just to paper over the cracks in strategy.
No, you can. And the other challenge is, I mean, we haven't really touched on this, but the importance of being well funded, the importance of actually having, a clearly defined marketing budget is crucial, both for franchisors and for franchisees. So, I think all too often, and of course, that's the last part of that, is that all too often when marketing doesn't work, the tendency is for people to stop spending.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is
it creates a feedback loop. Yeah,
100%. But again, it's one of the biggest challenges, and obviously we can have a whole session just on marketing. Of that, I've no doubt. But yeah. So
let's just mention, so going beyond, so we think those are the main pillars to get right, and with those pillars in place, you're probably, hopefully, be in a good place to scale. Let's just mention finance, banking, multidisciplinary support, because people are going to need support, I think, is the point.
100%. That for me, that's the key. So we've talked about territory mapping already, but thinking about the professional services. So banking, yes, banking and or any other funding providers, legal support, using franchise consultants, using the expertise that is actually out there, of which there's a huge amount. So I think anybody who's thinking of growing, scaling the business, I say this regularly: if you want to go somewhere, find someone that's gone there before. And that again, one of my clients, I remember she said the following: you either pay for support now, or you will pay for it later because of the things that go wrong because you don't know what you don't know. Either way, you're going to pay for it.
Was it Jim Collins who wrote Good to Great and described that
Yes.
you want the right people on the bus before you set off?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I think that is crucial. So, obviously the British Franchise Association, I've been a member of the BFA for years. I continue to be a member, support the organisation. I think that's really important. But yeah, I think, every aspect of running a business, from finance, banking, marketing, strategy, recruitment, every single aspect, it's it's unusual to think that you're going to have all those skills yourself. So surround yourself with people who can help you to get to where you want to go, but get there faster and more effectively. Because again, when all's said and done, I know it's, in some respects, when I go back to my nursing career, some decisions that we were making were literally life and death. But you know what? In franchising, it sometimes is as significant as life and death. And I've seen huge success with franchisees creating the hopes and dreams beyond what they even thought was possible. But sadly, I've also seen people who have lost, sometimes a lot and sometimes everything. So I think we should never lose sight of the human aspect of how important it is for us to get these things right.
Yeah, we talked about this with Jen Chapman Buffin, didn't we, in
Yeah.
August, about the mental health side of this as well. Perhaps not losing sight of that, and you don't necessarily, I think value is maybe the wrong word, but maybe we underestimate the importance of mental health until it isn't there.
Yeah. Completely.
So, yeah.
It's and again, I think all these things are amplified in the world that we live in today. It's tricky, but equally there is a massive amount of good stuff happening in the franchising community, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. We should celebrate, the amount of people who are doing amazing things.